Good morning. Bill Mayer, campus minister here at TMP with another inside look. Today we're going to concentrate on the technology side. One of our primary jobs here in the Theology and Campus Ministry Department is to help our parents in the job of helping our students form a good conscience. Parents are the primary educators in the faith, but our job is to assist the parents in that job and help our students to form that good conscience. That is where we go behind the scenes today with technology. Technology is a great thing and a very vital thing for effective education. The problem is that technology can also open up some areas that are more morally harmful. Today we will tell you a little bit about what we do to protect your student from some of the dangers that technology can open your child up to. Until a student has a fully formed conscience, the ability to discern what content is good and what content is spiritually dangerous, we have an obligation to keep them safe from that harmful content. Things like pornography, predators on the internet, and content in movies and TV shows that is inappropriate. That is where I bring in my guest today. My guest is Scott Brown. He is the Technology Education Director here at TMP. He is the guy who ensures that we are integrating technology into our classrooms as an effective and safe tool. We're extremely blessed to have an educator in this position. His background is in the classroom. He has an undergraduate degree in education and a master's in curriculum and instructions with a specialist in digital learning. Today we're going to talk about Chromebooks, filters, and how we educate students to avoid the problems on the internet. Scott, thanks for joining us this morning. I want to talk a little bit about technology today. So first, I know you're pretty excited about the Chromebook initiative and that stuff. Can you tell us why Chromebooks, why we need them, and how they're helping us?
The why Chromebook part, start there. As far as the device goes, as far as expense, what they can do, we realize there are some limitations, but the good far outweighed the bad. So when you talk about expense and being able to do that, that was one of the reasons for the Chromebooks. Plus, we're able to integrate all the Google tools, 21st century technology skills into the learning, and it's easy to do with that device.
Good. There's a lot of dangers with the content that's out on the web and those sort of things for kids, and I know you do a great job of protecting our TMP kids from that content. Can you kind of talk about how we do that here at TMP?
Yeah, we have a content filter. It's a managed service provided through a company. So all internet web traffic is filtered through that content filter, and it also serves as our firewall.
Can you kind of tell me a little bit about how the filter works? Just
Yeah.
kind of behind the scenes stuff.
The filter uses an algorithm to look at a web page, find the words on the page, images, and then it assigns it a score based on the algorithm. And then if the page scores higher than the set threshold, it blocks the page. And if this page scores lower than the set threshold, then it deems it okay, and you're able to access it.
And I know this is it's a good filter. It's a solid filter. It catches everything. But sometimes it causes a little frustration because it catches things that
Right.
are safe content. Let's say I'm working and I find a page that, like, the Bible comes up as blocked sometimes. What do I need to do if I need into that page?
A lot of times the website will have a form itself. When it tells you can't access it, you fill in the form. That emails me notifying me that you would like access to the website. I check it out. 99% of the time it's legit and it looks good, and I am able to unblock the site. Students and staff can also email me directly, or any way to get a hold of me and just let me know, and then I'll gladly, like I said, 99% of the time it's legitimate. So
Are there better filters out there that are smarter than what ours is? I know ours is safe and keeps the kids safe. Is there a smarter, better?
yeah, I mean, I've looked at those products, and of course, the smarter they get, the price tag goes up, and so you have to balance what you want for what you're willing to pay.
Okay. Let's talk about sites like Netflix and Hulu. I know this is kind of frustration sometimes because they're blocked, and I know you've told me, there's a licensure thing and content thing. So can you explain a little bit on those?
Yeah, of course, you have to keep in mind the licensing agreement from the sites themselves, what you agree to being a member of those, as far as public use agreements and that kind of thing. But then I think the bigger thing is the content. you can find a lot of things on both of those sites that are not appropriate for our age of students. And then also, you have to weigh that the Chromebook, the device that they've been given, is for educational use and not necessarily their personal device.
So once you unblock Hulu, you couldn't control if they're watching mature content.
No,
rated R.
it's all or none. So.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this: are there other things that we do at the school, technology-wise, to protect kids and educate them on how to, avoid those things?
Yeah, I know. There's multiple efforts that we use. We're always talking about, digital citizenship, how to protect yourself online. So there's opportunities to hear about those things in both the junior high and the high school.
Shifting directions a little bit, I know that you're very passionate about technology, and I know you're extremely passionate about education. And again, like I said in the opening thing, we're lucky to have an educator in this position where a lot of times, you don't have that. You've got the technical guy.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think technology makes us better at
I'll
education?
say
Why?
technology is never going to replace good instruction. It should be an interwoven piece of the instruction where it's not focusing on tech for tech's sake. The focus of the learning shouldn't be the technology. It should just be a piece of it. But I think it's a great tool to engage students, and it allows us to do things that will affect the learning in ways that you couldn't otherwise do. So there's a lot of opportunities to do that. And then of course you got the built-in skills that the focus is now on, collaboration, being able to work with others. And so those are great ways to incorporate and learn those skills as well. Creativity, critical thinking.
All right, I want to thank Scott Brown for joining us today. Again, we want to talk about what technology is going on in the school, how we integrate it into the classrooms, and then most importantly for me, how we make sure that everything is safe for the kids and taken care of from them on a morality standpoint. You don't see Scott around very much because he's constantly all over the place, behind the scenes, working his tail off all the time. But that's what makes our school run, and that's what makes our technology effective. So thank you, Scott, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us also. This is a behind-the-scenes look with Campus Minister into some of the areas around the school, again, that affect your student. And we thank you for joining us today.